I think it's just really, really hard to build systems that are going to survive forever. I just have bigger ambitions than that. Like I want, I want like a global, like giant state machine that runs many different applications all in one shared system, all with one like atomic settlement guarantees as fast as possible and as cheap as possible. This is, like I spent all my career doing performance optimization. So like this is what like gets me excited, so I feel like in that environment, in a shared environment where you have many applications that have as many resources as we could possibly provide, physics, if physics allow, it has to be as cheap as possible. And I think the way that it accrues value is from the long tail of all these applications in aggregate generating fees. But in my mind, there's no reason why an application isn't the thing that generates the most revenue, right, and generates the most fees. Mm-hmm. The infrastructure layer in that environment should be as cheap as possible and extract the least amount of value.
What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about Solana. It's been a while since I covered this crypto. I've been getting asked about it lately. I've been following here and there. It's still on my watch list. I see it stabilizing at around the $20 mark. Its all-time high, what previously was $260. And as much as I want to give a biased review, Solana did wreck me when it tanked from the FTX Alameda scandal from Sam Bankman-Fried. It went to $8. I sold it at like $12 or $13, I remember. And then when it went to $8, I got greedy trying to swing trade it, thinking it was going to hit $5. I was going to buy back in at $5. It never hit. I sold it. I panic sold it. It rebounded, and I got wrecked. And, I never bought back into Solana. I do hold one of its tokens in the ecosystem. That being said, Solana, they are the definition of battle-tested. Literally a company that is forward-moving, very big on marketing. They were one of the top marketing companies in the entire market last bull cycle, which is a big reason why it ballooned up to $260. Aside from the VCs pumping it, they were very good at marketing. They took a very drastic different approach to other cryptos, other layer ones like Cardano, for example, which has a perfectionist mindset. Solana was like, let's not be perfect. Let's just do AMAs. Let's come out with products. They recently came out with a Solana phone, the Saga phone, which some said is stupid, but nonetheless, it's what you want to see in a company, right? And Anatoly Yakovenko, I do have respect for him. I do see he's very active. He was very active, doing so many AMAs, bringing the word to Solana out there. They had a partnership with Google, I believe. They're in the Web3 space. There's so many different things coming out for Solana that, as much as I want to be bearish, it's hard to say they won't do well in the future, right? Now, when it comes to their decentralization, which is a big marketing approach for many cryptos, many layer ones, Solana is not decentralized. If you check out the tokenomics, they have less than 3% allocated to the public, which means the VCs still hold a large part of the Solana supply. The VCs are private investors, who, by the way, are holding Solana much cheaper than you. So is there money to be made with Solana? Yes, I'm not blind to the idea Solana can't recover and maybe eventually reach a new all-time high. Solana does have inflation. There's no cap supply. So right now there's 412, give or take, million in current circulation, but the inflation rate is around 8%, I believe, per year, and they're going to reduce it to around 1.5% by 2030, 2031. So the inflation is still there, but I mean, less than $500 million in total supply right now it's still relatively scarce. But you do have this inflation with also the VCs and private investors who are waiting to dump and take more profits as looming catalyst to send Solana on a dip. I say a dip because I do believe we're going to see Solana rip it again, but I'm not personally getting back into it. I do like that they're very innovative. They're always out there in the market. They're advertising. I still like Anatoly Yakovenko. I still will probably invest into Solana's ecosystem. But Solana, I just believe there's better later ones out there. I like Caspa better. I like Ethereum better. I like HBAR better. So for me, I have my picks. But if you're asking yourself right now, or maybe you're still holding Solana, you were holding it since before the collapse of FTX and Alameda, if I were in your shoes and I wasn't down a lot, I would just hold it, because I do believe Solana could reach a new all-time high soon. Whether it's going to hit above 260, that's bull cycles, anyone's guess. If it hits around 250, I believe it'll be 100 billion market cap. Solana right now is number 9. It maintained its top 10 status despite the collapse it had at FTX. A lot of people kept writing off Solana, including me. I'm not going to lie to you and say I didn't write it off. I wrote it off thinking it was going to fall in the top 10 and never make it back there again. But it proved us wrong. It went through the trenches and it's still number 9. So it's kind of crazy to say that, like Solana, one of the most centralized, heavily VC-backed cryptos, is back in the top 10 and stabilized at around $20. It's kind of surreal to say that, but Solana is one of the most controversial cryptos. It is still very popular. Developers love using it. It's very easy to build on, very easy to figure out, not much of a learning curve compared to other programming languages, which have a steeper learning curve. It's also extremely cheap to transact on the ledger. It's fractions of a penny. They're very fast. They're one of the fastest blockchains in the entire market. They're green. They have a lot of things going for it that is good, that I could see become very popular once again. And Solana led the crypto market last bull cycle with NFT volume, because they were so cheap and so fast to transact on their blockchain. So even though they got some bad things making it up, they still got a lot of good things going for it too. And Solana is a great example of a crypto that could have bad catalysts take place, but in due time could recover, which is why I want to see Solana succeed. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to take a biased viewpoint and say I hope it goes to zero. Solana has a lot of development already, and I don't see the devs just migrating away. They just keep building. They're coming out with more Solana tokens. They have an array of Solana tokens now. At some point, I just see the ecosystem growing and taking off again. So Solana could have a massive recovery. If Solana reaches a new all-time high this bull cycle, that would be a major accomplishment for Solana. Anatoly Yakovenko came out one day and said they have to fix the issues they've been experiencing, right? A lot of issues that have been plaguing Solana has to deal with the centralization. Every time their network gets overloaded with bots or transactions, oftentimes they have to shut down the network, literally press a reset button and start over. So although Solana is one of the most scalable ledgers out there in the entire crypto market right now, it's hard to be scalable and secure at the same time, which is why Solana is going to have to put in a lot of work to fix these issues. I know some people say most people don't care about the network going down. Many of them do. Many of them definitely do. You would care too if you were trying to transact on Solana and all of a sudden they shut down and it was gone for a few hours. It happened a lot. They've gotten better. They have to add more nodes and stuff like that. But in terms of the VCs and private investors, just be careful if you are looking to invest into Solana. Keep in mind, if you're buying it now, you're buying at a very great discount. $20, sub $20 is obviously a very good entry into Solana. But make sure you have realistic price prediction expectations. Don't say I'm going to hodl this until $500, $1,000, because the VCs and private investors will humble you and will wreck you by taking profits. Remember, anytime you're competing against a team, private investors, VCs, they always have your crypto much cheaper than you, and they always have a lot more money invested than you. So their multipliers to make a ton of money doesn't have to hit as high as you to make a killing. So just keep that in mind. Every proof of stake crypto has a team, has an allocation to the team, private investors, VCs that do hold a subset portion of that token supply. What you have to do as an investor, as a retail investor, is be aware of it, look into how much is allocated to the team, and then set your exit points accordingly so you don't get wrecked and left holding the bag. And now the fun part, where can Solana go? As a conservative, realist investor, I think Solana can be anywhere from 200 to 300 by the end of this bull cycle, which will be around an 80 billion market cap at minimum to around the 150 billion market cap. This is granted that Solana remains a top 10 crypto, or at the very least top 15. I think it's doable for Solana. A lot of it's going to depend on whether they fix the issues and setbacks they have went through numerous times over the last bull cycle. Also, the competition, what products they come out with, what marketing they deal with, partnerships, their ecosystem growth. A lot's going to depend on Solana. Also, the VCs and team that are holding that major portion of the supply, the 97% or so, they're probably going to suppress the price a significant amount. So you got to factor that in as well when it comes to these price predictions. By the way, if you want to reach out to me, talk to me, see your crypto on buying, selling, trading, or join a like-minded support group of both beginner and advanced investors, and feel free to join my Patreon and Discord. I'll leave a link in the pinned comments down below. It would be awesome to see you there. And I want to hear from you. How do you feel about Solana right now? Where do you see its price by the end of the bull cycle? Drop your comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really helps so much. With that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.